Hi everyone, welcome to Random Talks with Bosun. My name is Bosun Bankole. If it's your first time here, it's lovely to have you here. On this channel, I talk about career related issues, job search strategies, interviewing skills, and all the nice stuff between finding a job and having a great work life. If those are the kind of topics you're interested in, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you. It's great to have you here again. I'm excited about your engagement with my videos, and I hope to see you every other time, right? So thank you for joining me again. Today I want to share some personal experience, like something that could help you as you navigate through your job search process. And I will be talking about how I got my first job in Canada. I often don't refer to this job a lot, but of course it gave me a kickstart into my career landing in Canada. So I got this first job about 2 months right after I landed. Well, before I landed, the first thing I did was to engage with a lot of people, get to understand the market. I knew I wanted a corporate job as a start. I was willing to start from the scratch, like I wasn't too picky. I just wanted to have an experience of a Canadian workplace and of course interact with the culture. So I got my resume tweaked. I got all the information early about having a tailored resume to job positions and then having a Canadian resume, you know, all that stuff before I landed. So that gave me a quick start. And then once I landed and I'd rested, I started engaging with positions, applying to positions, and I started engaging with people, right? So I mean, 2 months down the line, I got, in fact, less than 2 months actually, I got my first job. How did I get that job is all I want to talk to you about today. Now, you hear a lot about networking in Canada, connecting with people once you land. Sometimes it's difficult to achieve networking when you don't even know people at all. So the first thing I did to at least engage with people and engage with mentors within the space was to go to some of the centers. I mean the career centers that are free. I mean they're government sponsored, so nobody's going to charge you for being a member of that. So I went to one of the career centers. The first day I got there, I met with someone who was willing to mentor me, and that was a great start for me. So the person had a look at my resume, helped me to tweak a couple of things here and there, gave me some tips. And after that session, I went to another session where they spoke about interviewing in Canada, how to apply to jobs. You know, all of these are great tips that I was able to put to use. Now at that same center where I started interacting with people, I met a lot of people who we exchanged LinkedIn page, connections, and then we also exchanged mobile phone numbers, and we got talking because we were all new and we were all from different backgrounds. So we got talking, and from one of those people at that meeting, I got this text about a job fair that was happening somewhere. It was my first job fair ever. Like, I mean, job fair in Canada is a big deal. Well, if it's probably not something that's ongoing right now because of COVID, job fair right now is mostly virtual. But in those days, it used to be physical, interacting with people, interacting with recruiters and job owners directly in a 5-10 quick minutes of chats and talks. So I went to one of those job fairs, and while I was at the job fair, it was such a long queue. I was heavily discouraged because I'm like, why should it be that difficult? Like it was too many people, it was sunny, and I was going to return back, but it took me a while to get to the location because I was new, I didn't have a car. I almost turned back because it was tiring, but I told myself I don't care how long it takes me to get into the hall, considering the amount of time it took me to arrive at the venue in the first place. Interestingly, while I was on the queue, I saw some of my colleagues from the career center that I spoke about earlier, and then they told me, don't even bother, don't waste your time, there's no job in there that is worth your time. I'm like, really? Well, I'll find out for myself. And that's my first lesson in the job search process. It has to be about you, right? Gather all the information, learn from it, build your strategies, but whatever decision you make, in your job search process has to be about you and what makes you happy. So I told them, oh, thank you for that. I'll just wait to find out for myself. And I waited. And I got into the hall eventually. I met a lot of people, spoke to a lot of companies. Indeed, none of those positions looked like what I wanted to get into. Remember, I knew at the beginning that I wanted a corporate job. I was willing to start small, however way, but it was important that it was a corporate job in a corporate environment, because the key goal for me was to interact with the corporate culture. So I was almost walking out when I saw this stand, and this stand said, we're interviewing now. And one of the positions they were interviewing for was an admin coordinator position. And then I walked up. They had an operations position, an admin position. I walked up to the lady and said, oh, I'd like to have a chat. And then she said, oh, she's so sorry, they're finishing already. She's spoken to a lot of people and she's ready to go. She really doesn't think they need to see any more people. I told myself, not today. And the next thing I said to her, my exact words were, I understand you've been through a lot, but I know you wouldn't want to pass on a chance to speak to the best candidates today. And then she was like, oh, that's bold. I'm like, yes, it's true. Like, the amount of experience I have is nothing compared to this job you're interviewing for, but I'm willing to start somewhere. So if you're willing to have a chat, I'll be happy to. And that changed the whole story for me, because I had that interview a week after I got an invite to come into their office to interview for the position, and I did, and I got the job. The lessons for me is really, you have to do you in the job search process. You have to be tenacious, and of course you have to be out there, because that's how you engage with people. That's how you build a connection that could help you land a job. There's more to this story than I'm telling you right now, because I'll share more of the details next week when I talk about survival jobs in Canada and how not to get stuck. You don't want to miss it, especially if you've taken a step down in your career when you landed in Canada and you're trying to get out of that step down into a more senior position. You don't want to miss that next episode. Thank you for joining me again today. I hope you like this very short and interesting content. Please don't forget to subscribe and like my channel. I look forward to hearing from you. Leave me a comment, leave me a chat, and I'll be happy to engage anytime. Thank you so much, and see you again next time.